Thank you, Chicken. Sawadee krab. Good morning, everybody. It's still morning, so I can say good morning. So first and foremost, just a quick introduction. My name is Damien Wong. I'm Vice President and General Manager for Asian Growth and Emerging Markets, which includes all of Southeast Asia, including Singapore, Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan for Red Hat. So really exciting times for us. I've been asked this question so many times by so many of our customers, right? This great news and exciting news of Red Hat's acquisition by IBM, right, is finally concluded. And what exactly does it mean for our customers and our partners? So the reality is that together, IBM and Red Hat will unlock the true value of hybrid cloud. How do we expect to do this? Well, on the one hand, we have the power and the flexibility of Red Hat's open hybrid cloud technologies. And on the other hand, we have the scale and the depth of expertise, industry expertise in all these verticals, financial services, healthcare. You know, you've seen all those great examples through the presentations earlier today. All of that, right, coupled together to bring our customers through this journey, right, as Chikin has mentioned, of getting to chapter 2, right, chapter 2 of the journey to the cloud. So we're really excited because we think that together we're going to be able to help unlock this true value of hybrid cloud. But I hope you don't let this blue suit fool you, because Red Hat is still Red Hat, yeah? We still operate independently. We still operate as Red Hat. So what exactly does this mean? This means that Red Hat will retain our independence and our neutrality. How? In terms of that broad developer and partner ecosystem, we will retain separate partner programs, separate developer programs. We will ensure that our product portfolios, our services portfolio, our go-to-market strategies are determined by Red Hat, right, in accordance with what is best for customers, for enterprises. And our position, our philosophy of open source contributions and development model, right? Because Red Hat is 100% open source focused. That does not change, right? We continue to retain that philosophy. And importantly, what has made us successful, that unique culture, the brand, the facilities, meaning our offices and so on, and our practices will continue to be retained, because that's that secret sauce that's made Red Hat what it is today. So I hope that's out of the way and everyone is clear. So let's get back to the topic of my presentation. Open unlocks the world's potential. First, let's define what open means. From Red Hat's perspective, open allows us to create long-term customer value by providing freedom, choice, and flexibility. Freedom in terms of the fact that our subscriptions are not tied to a specific active version, right? You can choose whichever versions you would like to deploy on. We do not force you to move from one version to the next just because we have upgraded the products. You have the choice, the broadest ecosystem of hardware and software partners, right, in the market. So you don't have to worry about being tied to a particular hardware or software provider. And most importantly, flexibility, right? You can deploy to any environment, whether physical or virtual or public cloud. And when we say public cloud, we mean any public cloud provider, industry standard ones that are out there. So I hope this gives you a better sense of how open can create long-term customer value for you, our customers. Open also allows us to drive rapid innovation. Earlier, when I was up on stage with Harriet and with Kuntagon, we were talking a little bit about this digital disruption, right? Whether it's blockchain, AI, machine learning, right? IoT, cloud, mobility, all these innovations have arisen from open source innovation first and foremost, and in most cases continue to be dominant in open innovation, right? So this open way of delivering innovation, developing innovation, right, is really very rapid and is providing that ammunition for digital disruption that we see everywhere today. But in that same breath, this same open innovation is also what Red Hat works with to create the best software in the world, right? From the million-plus open source projects out there, Red Hat curates projects, right, in a very consistent manner, which eventually we create products, enterprise products that are reliable, secure, and perform to expectations. So I like to use the analogy of water, right? If you go to the Chao Phraya River today, that water is free, by the way. You can go and take some water from the river, but I bet you will not drink directly from the river. Or if you do, then I wish you good luck, because I hope Thailand has very good hospitals, yeah? So this water is the source from which many companies will then purify, process, and bottle the water, and then you pay some money when you go to a store to consume that water, but you do it because you know that water is safe to drink, right? And that it is backed by somebody that you trust, right? And that process is similar to what Red Hat does with raw, open innovation that moves very rapidly, and we take it through this process to become hardened, reliable, supported, enterprise-grade software, which I think is represented by some of those names over there. So we have Fedora that we curate from the raw open source community of Linux, and then eventually we create Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Similarly, OpenShift, right? We take a set of open source technology projects, we curate them in a very consistent manner, and eventually we create a distribution called OKD, and from there we create OpenShift container platform, and so on. There are many products there, but I just want to highlight to you the process by which we create that value is very consistent. So we spoke about how digital transformation is a response by traditional organizations towards that digital disruption, right? If you're a bank, you're competing against new, non-traditional players like the fintechs. If you are a hospitality provider like this hotel chains, they compete against companies like Airbnb and so on, right? And how you compete is through delivering modern apps. But modern apps require speed, flexibility, and choice. And we believe that open source and hybrid cloud deliver the speed, flexibility, and choice necessary for modern apps. Don't just take my word for it, right? In this study by Red Hat that was conducted just last year, 89% of the respondents, the IT decision makers, said that they have open source as part of their strategy, right? And 68% reported an increased use of enterprise open source. So customers are not just talking about it, they are actually deploying more open source to power their digital transformation. And the second part of that equation, hybrid cloud, right? In this study by Flexera that was conducted earlier this year, 84% of the enterprises surveyed said that they have a multi-cloud strategy, not just hybrid cloud, but multi-cloud, meaning that they want to work with multiple cloud providers. So that really is the enterprise reality today, open source and hybrid cloud. And we argue that the innovation engine powering hybrid cloud is Linux. Why do we say that? Well, the statistics, the data shows that today 54% of application workloads are deployed on Linux VMs in the public cloud. And surprise, surprise, Microsoft Azure has just announced that more than 50% of their workloads are now run on Linux. That's amazing. This is Microsoft, yeah? Of that, 65% of those workloads are paid enterprise Linux, yeah? Which means that they are mission critical. They are not just hobbyists doing stuff on public cloud. These are mission critical workloads that people are paying for enterprise support. So this is clearly, right, a sign that Linux is that most widely used enterprise platform in the public cloud. We also argue that the orchestration engine for hybrid cloud is Kubernetes. Now, we heard Thai Customs talk about physical containers, but now we're talking about containers from a technology standpoint, right? And the orchestration engine for hybrid cloud and containers, we believe, is Kubernetes. Don't just take my word for it, right? This is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation survey which clearly shows that Kubernetes has won that war in terms of standards, in terms of choice of technology, right? We don't hear any of the other technologies like Cloud Foundry and so on and so forth even coming close. So we are convinced that this is the right direction if we are talking about orchestration in hybrid cloud. Sorry, fastest finger, right? Or maybe fat fingers. So on that note, right, Red Hat is the world's largest enterprise Kubernetes distribution. We work with over 1,000 Kubernetes, OpenShift customers, right? OpenShift is made up of Kubernetes together with several other interrelated open source projects brought together to deliver this seamless container platform, right? And if you look at the slide up here, I don't know why it doesn't render. Okay, there was supposed to be a couple of additional logos. I'm not sure why it disappeared. But it's okay. There was a logo of one local Thai company called Ascend Money. Some of you would have heard of True Money e-wallet or Ascend Money as the largest fintech in Southeast Asia today from an e-wallet standpoint. And they rely on OpenShift. From a local banking, traditional bank perspective, we had CIMB Thai up there as well, right? A formal reference customer amongst the many digital natives that are there. So, I just want to highlight that if you're thinking of working with Kubernetes, rethink that, because it's not just about Kubernetes. It's about bringing it all together for enterprise needs, right? And it's more than just Kubernetes. So please work with us. This is changing on its own. I don't know why. So that's where Open builds the hybrid cloud platform with Red Hat Enterprise Linux and with Red Hat OpenShift. So any workload, whether traditional workload or cloud native workload on any footprint, physical, virtual, private cloud, or any public cloud. So this is a fantastic way to achieve the speed, flexibility, and choice. And how Red Hat has been successful in doing this is the following. We've built our entire portfolio on Linux, especially Red Hat Enterprise Linux, right? We maintain that open source leadership position, which many people struggle with. We fully embrace the open hybrid cloud, which means working with all these various parties, all these various players, and we ensure that security is embedded into every aspect of our product portfolio. And supporting all that is that people and culture aspect, which is so important to the uniqueness of Red Hat. And I want to end off my presentation by just providing a quote from CIMB Thai, one of the leading banks in Thailand. I'm getting old, so I can't read that. I'm going to read this off my cell phone. I hope you don't mind. So this is from Kun Paragon, who is the CIO of CIMB Thai. He said this: "We set a challenging goal to build a new mobile banking app within a short time using a newly established in-house agile development team. We decided to create a microservices architecture that is built on Red Hat OpenShift platform to achieve this mission. With this success, we are pinning this as a platform for the future, and we'll keep building more services to support our digital banking strategy." How wonderful is that? We're so proud to support the digital transformation of CIMB Thai and many other financial institutions across the region. So to end this session, I just want to say that I hope my presentation has shared with you, right, how open can unlock the world's potential. And I think together with IBM and Red Hat, we hope that we can help you unlock your potential with digital innovation in open source as well. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ. Yep.